In last week's episode, Chris confesses his admiration for Rachel O'Leary.
One of my favorites.
Kenny E divulges that he bleeds at the sight of any power tool.
If a power tool comes on, Kenny needs to exit the room because I'm liable to get hurt.
And Scott makes sure that everyone knows that Liz is his fiancée and not his girlfriend.
Yeah.
There's also quite a lot of talk about fish happenings, fish shows, fish events, and fish altogether.
Let's get ready for the show, guys. It's going to be a great one. Come on!
Hey guys, guess what time it is? That's right, it's Friday morning, and your favorite fish show is about to begin. Come on guys, get up and help me celebrate this wonderful day. We get to talk about fish, and there's nothing your boss can do about it.
Holy God, get this guy a towel, will you?
What's up, guys? It is your boy Scott from King Queen Cichlids, and this is podcast number 2. I got 2 of my co-hosts with me. Number 1, Kenny E. Say hello, Kenny.
What up, fish people? Good to see everybody.
Danikin's Aquatic, definitely check him out. And then my brother from another mother down below me, that is Chris from Multi-Tank Addiction.
Hello.
How are you doing today, Chris?
I am doing great.
All right. One of us in this room had a meeting today, a fish club meeting today. Kenny E., tell us about that.
We had a great time. I'm mad because I was going to try to go live from it, but their Wi-Fi was down, and I could only get 4 Gs. So then, I got flustered. I should have still kept it on recording and did a video at least, but I didn't do it. I figured I'll do it next month, but it was a great success for a first meeting in over a year. We had probably 30 people there. And
for those of us who don't know what club you represent, let us know. And
that would be the Greater Portland Aquarium Society here in the great state of Oregon, Portland, Oregon. And I would say I'd say we had probably 40, 50 bags of fish, bunch of tanks, bunch of different types of plants. It was a great auction. I ended up with I think it's an L232. It's a yellow zebra. It's basically like the regular zebra plecos, only this one's bright yellow with the stripes,
That
and
man loves a pleco, I tell you.
Then I got buffalo heads, and then some more of my little seltzer, little African. Those are those ones you got to keep in the 9.5 pH and 90-degree water. Those things are so cool. But yeah, I got all that for like $60. I'm like, yeah. Those buffalo heads alone, I got like 10 of them for, I want to say I paid $10 for those. I was like, God, this is almost insane, but absolute blast.
So guys, if you are watching this for the first time, you missed our last podcast, let's explain what we're doing here, guys. We are 3 loving hobbyists that have been in a hobby quite some time, and we're bringing you a podcast talking about stuff that hopefully will help you guys out there, whether it's water changes that we're discussing now, fish compatibility, what size tanks to get. This is stuff that we're going to be tackling every podcast, and we're kind of doing it not live because we want to stay on task, but that might change in the near future where we actually move this to a live stream. But for those of you who saw the first episode and enjoyed it and got here to be in the second one, we thank you very much. And for those of you who are watching us the first time, I want to make sure you guys subscribe to Kenny E. at Danikin Aquatics and my boy down there, Chris, at Multi-Tanks Addictions. Definitely, both of these guys are striving to get to 2,000 subscribers, correct?
Yes.
Now we're in a foot race. Chris and I are in a foot race to see who can get there first.
I know you guys are. I actually pulled it up to see where you guys are at, and Kenny Danikin is at 1.84, and Multi-Tanks Addictions at 1.89. So it's a very close race there, guys. I saw something, Chris, and I was like, whoa, Chris is throwing a little curveball here. you want to talk about this $85 gift certificate to Aquashella you're giving away?
Yeah, my 2K subscriber giveaway. I'm going to be giving away an $85 gift. Basically, whoever the winner is will get a free entrance into Aquashella with the VIP pass, which is the highest pass that they have.
Right.
And then I'm going to be giving away 3 $25 gift cards to various places like Dan's Fish. I was going to do Guppy Guru and Aquarium Co-op. So
Damn, you hit the lottery or something? What's going on?
nope, I'm using the money that I get from my channel.
Awesome.
To pay for that. So I usually make about 150 every 2 months. So I figure everybody else helped me get there, and to say thank you, I'm going to use the money that I got from that to help them have a little bit of fun.
Sweet.
Very nice of you. Now, while we're talking about things that are very nice, Kenny E, I'm going to put you on the spot because I've been checking your channel out more and more, and some of the things that you're doing for the Fish Fam and for channels in particular, I just commend you so much. So you have been doing this challenge to get channels to 1,000K. I mean, here's one with Fishy Biz. Here's one for Chattanooga Ed. Here's one for the Carver family. I have to check that one out. I'm not sure who that is. But Big Tank Hank. I mean, Aqua Balls was the latest one you did. Why is your heart so big? Why are you doing this? And thank you so very much for doing it.
And I'm going to bring it back down to this guy, okay? Right there. When I was a channel working my way up, the one thing that I've always loved about this Fish Fam arena is there's channels that were bigger that always embraced you and tried to lift you up.
Amen.
Well, just because I'm starting to have some success, I don't want to forget that.
Yep.
I'm never going to forget where I came from. So I want to help channels get to their goals. And to me, the 1K goal is the biggest one of them all because now they can live stream from their phone. Now, I will tell you, gents, there's something in it for me because now that creator has the ability to shoot whatever he wants, wherever they're at, he or she. And that's what's in it for me. I get to see more great content.
Right.
But I just remember, and I'm sure both of you do, that 1K was the hardest one to ever get to. And
I was the most excited at 1K for sure.
And it was also the hardest, especially when you were overlapping that year. Let's say it took you a year and, they'll take away 30 from you and gain you 40. And I mean, it's like, man, it seems like it takes forever. So anything I can do to help them cross that threshold, I mean, I'm all over it.
And he was in particular, he was very excited about trying to get to 1K because of the ability to pull up his phone and just go and start recording. That was his thing, man.
Yeah. Because I've always loved being able to just shoot where you're at, man. Something comes up, that's why I was disappointed today, dude. I mean, I could not get it kept doing the circle. I'm like, I'm not even going to bother. I know this is going to be terrible. Their Wi-Fi or something wasn't right. So it bothered me not being able to do it today because I actually committed to one of my members of my channel that I would do it for today. And unfortunately, I had to fail. But I took the time to go on my community tab. For things out of my control, I cannot live stream today, guys. Sorry, but I'll be on my normal time at 6 today. So, but yeah, I just think that's really a lot of, and I'm not saying everybody does, but I know there are creators out there, once they get to a certain level, they start forgetting how they got there. I don't want to be that guy. Yep. I want to always give to the channels that are trying to lift themselves, Yep. And what does it take me, Scott? I think the average video I did there's 2 minutes long, but in Fishy's case, Ed's case, and Hank's case, I did the videos on a Friday, and they reached their goal by the end of the weekend.
But it wasn't just those. There were two of our family from the Fish Fam that passed away, and you helped them get to at least helped one that I know of.
Well,
get to 1K.
Yeah, that
he passed.
Man, you guys we don't want to go down there because
because I saw that video crying when you were crying. I couldn't watch that video again.
In Nathan's case, I mean, Nathan, when he was coming up, his only goal in life was to get, for the same reasons I did. He wanted to make it to 1K, and when he passed, I mean, it really shook me up. I mean, I was shook up bad. And that's one thing with my channel, guys. You got to understand, if you're in my circle and you're one of my friends, I mean, I consider you almost like family. So, I mean, when one of you passes, man, I can't tell you the void it leaves for me. And I lost it. I did. And Aquarium Cop,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, that
solely
bothers me a
believe
lot.
that gentleman, I'm still YouTubing today because of him. If it wasn't for that guy.
He was one of
And-
my first channel subscribers.
When I was early in this YouTubing thing, I was really considering, do I really want to do this? And he had caught wind of it. And I won't use the language he used with me, but he called me up and he said, "What's this I'm hearing?" You know, and if you all have talked to Cop on the phone, he's got that heavy accent. He goes, "Let me tell you something, mister. Here's what's going on." And I'm being clean with it. But
Right.
if I hear any more of this, I'm going to hop on a plane. I'm going to come out there and I'm going to whip your or your mother you know.
Kind of what you told me last week.
And he goes, "You know why you ain't quitting?" I said, "No, I don't know why." He goes, "Because you're Kenny Emmer Effer E. That's why."
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. And I will honor
Good.
him the rest of the way through this, man. And yeah, Cop took a lot out of me. He really did.
So I had a few people ask me, why did I pick you two? And my first joke was because I wanted people with less hair than me to be co-hosts. I don't want anyone on here with longer hair than me looking, I'm already receding. So, but the other reason was because it's all the work both of you do in the fish fan community. You guys reach out. You guys are always promoting. I mean, hell, Chris, I have more subs than you, but you would always promote me regularly.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, the commercial, everything. So, I haven't done what Kenny E has done. Again, I love it. But what I have done is I brought people on my channel. I've done videos with them, trying to get them out so other people could see them and subscribe to them. When I was doing live feeds back in the day, I would always shout out just for channels to check them out. But Kenny, bravo, brother. I love it.
you.
Same with you, Chris. You're always doing the same. So
I don't want anybody to think that, just Kenny and me are the only ones that are really promoting, because Scott does the same thing. He doesn't like to toot his own horn. So we're going to toot it for him.
Well, I appreciate that. But much to Kenny's point, I got a break. I mean, KG's Tropicals came to me and put me in a couple of videos. And, you talk about going from 3,000 subs to 8,000. It's because John and Lisa took a chance on me and put me in a couple of their videos. And that, got me going. So you have to keep reciprocating back and making sure you're pulling people up, especially the good ones.
Yeah.
So
The one that gave me my real big break was Lucas Bretz came out for Greater Portland Aquarium Society, and he took the time to shoot my fish room while I was here. And then I think that video's up to 120K now.
wow.
We developed a real friendship out of that too.
Yeah, I mean, to this day I call Lucas. Whenever, I mean, when you are a creator, you have challenges, and you have to have that one mentor to be able to call. And I've leaned on this guy a few times too, because he's right here. He's probably heard me vent more than anybody in the fish fam. But Chris has the personality for it. I mean, he just, he doesn't. I don't think I've ever seen the guy get emotional about anything, man. He just
that one time when he lost those fish and when he had that leak, that was it.
Well, when he lost the fish and when we talk about Rachel O'Leary. Other than that, he's pretty level head.
Yeah. By the way, Chris, Rachel O'Leary has canceled her tickets to Aquashella Dallas.
That's fine. I'll just come out and visit you for a little while then, brother.
I'm playing. I'm sure she loves you. So while we're patting each other on the back, I'm going to post some very positive reviews from our last podcast. Okay, you want to check it out?
Sure.
D, love the new format. Please do it again. Thank you very much, D, for that. Our next one, Joe Stoddart. Really enjoyed watching this on replay. Looking forward to the next one. Let's see. Tasha, this is more towards you, Chris. Very cool. I just got a pair of Honduras Red Points. Nice to know who made it possible. I have Jack Dempsey's Green Terrors coming out of quarantine tomorrow, headed for 75. So
nice.
We wish you good luck on that. And thanks again, Chris, for bringing up the red Honduras points and speaking about Rusty Wessel. Obviously, people were listening. What else we got? Zenon says, nice change up, Scott. Good way to promote the hobby by featuring other YouTubers, what you were just talking about, and promote online and in-person events. And let me see if I got one more. Aqua Domain, only 17 minutes into the podcast, and I feel confident to say you nailed it on the new format, Scott. Loving it. So, guys, Thank you very much. It's I was a little nervous at first, but I think it's doing great, and I think we have a bright future ahead of us.
Oh, that's not putting it lightly. He was like, "Oh,
who, me?"
Yeah, you were nervous. No,
my biggest problem as a YouTuber is I get too concerned about views and all that other stuff. But what I need to remember is the fun you guys we had just making the video. And if I could concentrate on just having fun and not worrying about stats and how many views, I would be so much better.
I tell you, me and Danny live by that every day, man. We don't care what the views were. We don't care. You know, we just go out every Friday and Sunday to have a ball, and whatever comes of it, man. And bam, if it's a great time, it's a great time. If it's a dud, it's a dud. We just have fun doing it, you know.
It's funny because I wake up every morning and I open up the YouTube Studio app on my phone first thing when I wake up, just to see how many subscribers I have, which I just crossed 1,900.
Awesome. So I think you guys have picked up some subscribers, which is great. The other thing is, I believe this video is heading into over 800 views. So that's awesome in 2 days? So
yeah,
an hour-long podcast, 800 views. You know, put the three of us together and we have 12,000 subscribers. So that's pretty impressive for us. And I'm pretty happy about it. All right. So we have lots of questions to get into because we were vibing so good last week. We didn't get into any of them. Questions. You ready? Chris, I think this one actually came from your channel. So you're ready for this?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Stoddard, I watched the live stream with Jason on replay. I'm definitely going to start rinsing sponges in tap water. I got my first canister filter last year for a 55 aquarium. And between the intake sponge and other sponges, I'm probably only getting them half clean using the tank water out of the canister. So what did Jason say? That just use tap water to clean them?
Yeah, just use tap water. It's not going to make that much of a difference to the sponges. You're not going to be affecting the biological bacteria, the bacteria in the
that was my concern.
The chlorine and chloramine that's in your water isn't enough to kill that if you're cleaning your sponges out in a normal time frame. So not to really worry about it because you're going to be squeezing out all of that stuff anyways. All you're removing from your sponge is dead bacteria and detritus anyways. So
Kenny,
I can't get on board with that. The reason I say that, your tap water might be okay, but there's going to be people who live in other areas of the country where their tap water might have a lot more chloramine or a lot more chlorine.
It can't. It's required that it cannot be more than 5 parts per million.
Well,
it's a federal law. So, and that's Jason saying that, not me.
Jason who?
From Primetime
Aquatics.
Primetime, okay.
Yeah, he's a professor in marine biology, if I remember correctly.
He is.
He's an extremely smart guy. I would trust his judgment over mine any day.
I just don't. Here I don't worry so much because we don't have very little in Milwaukee.
I have like none. I don't even use dechlorinator in my.
But I always think somebody outside my parameters. I got to think for the whole entire,
Yeah.
But if Jason says it, I know he lives in probably some of the nastiest water there is, probably, right?
Far be it for me to question Jason, but I would just be concerned about the biological filtration. I know he says it wouldn't disturb it, but
it'll disturb some of it, but it's not going to kill it all.
Yeah.
When I'm cleaning my biological, I usually take whatever I've got for my media, set it aside, and then clean all the sponges, then put that media back in. It never touches any of that.
And of course, it's just substrate and driftwood stuff like that is part of the biological filtration too. So,
yeah, and then if you got a full tank, any one of these tanks, like this tank behind me right here, this thing is all craggy, full of knots and holes, and it's got tons of surface area, and there's bacteria on everything. The gravel, the walls, the tank, the rocks. It's on the filter inlet. It's on everything. So if you're squeezing out a sponge under the faucet for 45 seconds to a minute, it's not going to kill all your bacteria. It's going to get what's dead out, and it might kill some of it. But then you're gonna do what? You're gonna put it back into your filter, and it's gonna.
So if you're going to say that,
again.
then it must not mean nothing to just go ahead and put boiling hot water, so you're really getting it clean then.
Well, that would kill it. Heat's
We need,
different
we
story.
need to get Jason on here.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm trying to be facetious with you a little bit.
All right, thank you, Chris. All right, next question. Wisconsin's aquatic. Did I see correctly? Your cat has no tail. LOL. Are you, sir? And you, sir, are the reason I am interested in South American cichlids and am actively seeking a cool-looking, mid-aggressive male for my next build. Keep the videos coming. So, could you guys recommend a mid-size central? Wait a minute.
South or central?
Yeah. What would you, Chris? You're South American guy. What would be your mid-size?
Mid-sized for me would be a rockkill or any other severum for that matter. They're going to be between 8 and 10 inches.
And what size
maximum.
tank would be best?
Best would be a 75, but you could have one severum in a 55 with other fish. You wouldn't have more than one, though.
Yeah. Kenny E?
I have two I would go with. I'd either go with a Honduran red point colony, or I would do Salvini Rio Candelaria.
Ooh.
Any type of a Salvini would be gorgeous mid-size. I think they would be very happy in there, especially if you give it a good rockscape. They should be dialed perfect.
You just made Rusty Wessel smile. I could see it from here.
I
so.
could hear that myself. It was like, oh, there's a Rusty Wessel smile if I've ever heard one.
Well, I'll
No,
admit
it's also the term.
I'm
go ahead,
strongly influenced by Rusty. I mean, I'll admit it. So,
Well, it's also what you consider mid-size too, because
True.
like what he's talking about are between 4 and 6 inch fish, and what I was talking about are 8 to 10 inch fish.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what you consider mid-size. I mean, if I were to pick one that's about the same size as what he was talking about, I would go with the Acara, the blue Acara or the electric blue Acara.
right.
Either
The
one of those.
the thing I was thinking is mid-size for a 55, though, because he said a 55, correct?
No, he didn't say a size. I asked
Oh, I
Chris
thought-
what's the,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought it was a 55 gallon, but
yeah. My pick was a Jack Dempsey. I
yeah, that's a
think they
good
would
one.
be awesome if we say 55. That's the most common tank people can get. So
Yeah.
I think a nice pair of Jack Dempseys would be nice. All right,
Yeah.
ready for the next one?
Let's do this.
All right. We're not being as comical this time, but that's because we're getting serious about these questions. And that's what I hope, people will enjoy, that we're going to tackle these questions and give 3 different opinions on what's best. So this is Aaron Bell. After watching your video, I went out to got a red devil. It's about 12 inches or so, beautiful fish.
Oh, wow.
I'm having a hard time sexing it, though. I think it's a boy because it's growing a hump, but I've seen females with humps too. Please, can you help me identify my fish? I can post a few pictures of it in the tank in the vents. Chris or me?
Yeah, I actually you're asking me. That's hilarious because I asked your fiance how to
And
sex red.
That's what I was going to say. My
She sent me
fiance
a picture.
could sex anything. That's why I was so scared the first time we were in bed together. I was like, oh my god.
Like, I don't know.
She knows what you're supposed to be packing. So I was like,
Oh, my
god.
goodness. That's
But
too much.
it's either a circle in a circle or a circle in a slash. I would have to relook at it, and then Liz would verify it. Dude.
Most of my experience was both South American and those type of cichlids. The females seem to have a little more rounded fins on the tail, and the males will have more of, almost comes out to a nice fine point. Second thing is that the females, I've always found the head shape, especially on Oscar, is a little more rounded, where the male will have a little bit more point. And the other dead giveaway, if you got a female ready to breed, she's going to have a nice little thing sticking out the bottom of her about like that. So
Yeah. Anyway, what you got, Chris?
I have the picture. If you want, I can share it real quick with you.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so the male has a V shape going from the top. It goes down to a V, and the female is 2 circles.
Right.
That's how you can tell the difference between the two.
And is that just on Red Devils, Chris, or is that going to be all
That's
South
on-
American?
That's going to be on all South and Central American cichlids.
Andy Woods. Never been or seen a fish show in my life. This is kind of towards you, Kenny. Seems weird to me. Sounds fun though, but surely there's that's very stressful for the fish. I keep my wet pets at home. Probably visit a show one day, but not exhibit. Thanks for uploading. Hope you keep them coming from time to time. Central cichlids need all the exposure they deserve. Happy fish keeping to you and Liz. That is my boy Andy Woods. Great, love that channel.
Dude, I would probably have to take about 3 weeks to get the wherewithal to answer a question from that guy. I told you how I feel about Andy Woods, man.
Yeah, but you see he sided with you about not wanting to show his fish.
I'm the same way. If I lost him, Scott, I don't think I could ever forgive myself. I don't think I will ever show my fish. Not saying it's a bad for those that do, but me personally, it's not the risk far outweighs the reward, in my opinion.
Well, to be honest, I would be more likely to do a showing if it was, say, for instance, as close as the club. If Greater Portland Aquarium Society had a cichlid show or something like that, a contest, I would be more likely to do that, or even to go up to Seattle and do a show up in Seattle. I'm not impervious to being nervous, especially when it's concerning old Red over here about flying across the country.
Right.
That does make me nervous, but
I mean, you guys, like I said, every person has their thing they dig, and that's just something that I can honestly say I don't think I would ever see myself doing.
Well, the other thing is you got to take into consideration the one time that I saw somebody showing it was when I went with him to the aquatic experience. So I got to see all of the excitement.
And let me tell you my perspective, Kenny, because you think you're nervous. Be in charge of a show like I've been for 3 years in a row, and everybody's fish is your responsibility.
Oh, dude,
Liz can tell you there were nights I wouldn't sleep because I would be sneaking in trying to check on the fish, make sure. Those are 2 of the most restless nights of my life.
I imagine. I can imagine.
Just the thought of you're potentially putting someone else's fish in danger, and you're in charge of it. But I've been very rarely there's been deaths, in any show that I've taken place in. So next question. Oh my God, this guy right here, Joshua Rain. There's only one true green terror, and it's a Stalbergi. You have to help me on that, Kenny. Rivellatus are known as correctly as the gold psalm. Please stop spreading misinformation. Otherwise, all that will be in the hobby will be mud-blooded hybrids. Now listen, I went to the ACA Cichlid Companion Room, put in Green Terra, Rivellatus comes up, as well as a Stalbergi. Is that correct, Kenny? You don't know.
The gold. This has been an argument for as long as the green tears have been out.
Yes.
And to be truthful, I've heard both sides of the story, man. I don't have an opinion on it, to be truthful. Yeah. All I know is this one I have behind me, I'm pretty sure is a gold psalm.
Right. So I went to Imperial Tropicals because I love Mike Doherty, and Green Terror right there, Rivellatus. I've gone to several websites, including Wikipedia. They still have Rivellatus as common name as a Green Terror, along with the other one. So I don't feel like I was misleading anyone by saying I had a Green Terror. That was and I even said Rivellatus in my video. So,
but I know what he's referring to. He feels that a lot of people are crossbreeding this species without and not knowing that they're doing so. Is the way I took that question.
Right.
And like I said, I don't have the answer because I don't have enough experience with the green tears. I have these. Only reason I have these is I saved them from a lady. She had a bunch that I had off like 300 of these things. And that's how I ended up with them. But it's not a species that I actively sought to keep.
They're beautiful, though.
They are cool looking fish. But I don't like them because they don't get big enough to hang with what I usually have in the bigger tanks.
Chris, don't you have some of your 500 or no?
I The green terror, no, I have kept them. It's one of my favorite fish. Actually, it's the first large cichlid that I kept was a green terror. I've studied them quite a bit. As a matter of fact, in 2009, the Stahlsbergi was changed from being a rivulatus to being its own species.
Yep.
So it was a rivulatus until 2009. So
So are
it's
you-
only been 12 years that it has had its own name.
So would this be similar to bleaker eye pollini?
Yes,
Chris?
exactly. It would be exactly like that.
And
And I want to clear up something before we go any further. I know the difference between them. If I started getting crap on my channel from that, I do know the difference, and I've had both. I've had bleaker eye and pollen eye. I do have experience with them.
One of the most frustrating things in the hobby for me as someone that tries to give out good information is that we're constantly changing the classes and scientific names of fish. The Parachromas had like 8 different fish, and now they're down to like 6 because they've combined 2 of them, and it happens all the time. So it's I think because now we have the technology to check DNA and see exactly what location and their bloodline is, we're starting to get a little more specific, but it's driving me nuts because like Viejas are now Paratropius or Paratheraps, and it's just always changing all the time. It's just driving me nuts. But
and it's the same thing with the rivulatus. It wasn't it Parachromas before?
the Rivulatus? No.
Before it became
Quidians.
Yeah, it was the Aquidens rivulatus, and then now it's Andino Acara.
Yep, correct. Yes.
So they changed the class or the family.
Yeah, and so for all the people out there that don't want people to learn the common names, they want to learn the scientific names. Stop changing the scientific names because by the time we learn them, you're changing them to someone else. So
it's the same thing with the plecos. That's why you have to go with the L numbers now, because if you go by the scientific name, half of them are all the same.
Next question, who we have? My top 5 aquariums, American cichlids for a 55-gallon tank. Seeing you keep a lot of predatory fish and some advice, when is the best time to try to introduce a fish I keep? South American cichlids, jacks, green terrors, firemouths, and I have a female red devil. I want to add to the family, but super nervous because of her temperament. But they're still juveniles, only about an inch to 2 inches. Is it better to introduce them younger or wait till their personality develops more? Anyone want to grab that one? I know what my answer is.
Yeah, there's never a good time. The only thing I saw in that mix that kind of set up a red flag a little bit to me that I hope it works for you long term, but in my experience, firemouths don't ever keep up with the more aggressive cichlids. They always seem.
It all depends on. I mean, with that group, all right. I had 4 firemouths in the 300 with a breeding pair of Jack Dempsey's, a Tiger Oscar, a Cuban cichlid, a Red Devil, he was sold to me as a Red Devil. He's a Midas cichlid, a bunch of Severums, and a catfish that could have eaten it whole. And my firemouths were fine in there, but they're mean little boogers. I mean, you think convict cichlids are mean? Firemouths are mean,
especially when they start breeding. Oh my god!
Yeah, everyone I've ever kept has never been to keep up with the rest of the tank. They've always perished. So
my answer is, if you're going to do it, I agree with you. Do it now while they're small. Get them in a tank, get them all together when they're small, and let them grow up together. I mean, Kenny, how are you doing it? You have a bunch of different fish cichlids in your tanks.
Whenever I'm introducing, I don't do onesies. I make sure it's 2 to 3 at one time, so at least all the aggression doesn't get put on one fish.
Yep.
Picture this as when you were growing up as a kid, and this is a playground. Everybody has their own little part of the playground that they're gonna, stake their little territory. And if you drop somebody in it, he's gonna get his talking to from every one of these kids in the playground, man.
Which takes me to my next tip. If you already have a fish in your tank and you're introducing more, change all the aquascape. Change everything up so no one has an advantage of knowing whose territory is whose or anything like that. I've always done that. It helps a lot. Change everything in your tank so all the fish it's like a brand new tank to them.
Another tip: turn off the lights when you put the fish in the tank, the new fish, so that everybody's disoriented on top of that. So you got a messed up decor. Decor is all changed up on them, so they have no claim on any of it. And the sun just disappeared on them out of nowhere. So they're all confused. And when the lights come back on, they're like, "Oh, hey, I must have moved to another part of this river or whatever." So yeah.
And while you're experimenting, you need to know up front there is a significant chance you will have death. It happens.
You got to watch the fish.
Yeah. What I normally do is watch the fish for a couple hours, make sure nothing crazy happens. But even that's not a fail-safe. I mean, once you leave the room, stuff happens, and aggression just takes place. Because that's what happened with that 300. Remember that 300-gallon tank? I put all my envelopes in. I was like, "Oh my God, I did it! This is the greatest tank ever!" And then 2 days later, everyone was torn to bits and pieces. So luckily, no deaths. But yeah, never do that again. But somehow people can do it. I've seen tanks. I'm like, how are they doing that? I can't.
But like this right here. I mean, I got 3 convicts in here. They're only 2.5 inches with him.
Right. Yeah.
I've seen tanks where they've got Oscars with Africans, and they've got all kinds of weird stuff in there. I think they had scats and Oscars. I mean, like, wow, how is this even happening? You know?
Yeah.
It really depends on the temperament of the fish. Above all, you got to know your fish.
Well,
I think they'll even get along.
There's always going to be a pecking mode, and as long as the pecking mode's not too bad, like the top of the pecking mode is not as totally aggressive, then I think you're going to be all right. If your top pecking one is really, really aggressive and goes after everything, then you don't have a chance in hell.
I mean, I do believe the South American and Central Americans are a little bit more docile than the Africans are vicious. I mean, that pecking order is established, and they don't stop. I mean, it's just constant, you know. Where with these guys, in my opinion, they get in a little skirmish. One goes one way, one goes the other, and they might skirmish again later that day. But it's not unless there's breeding involved. I mean, it's not significant.
See, I would think that out of all of them, the South Americans would be the most docile, and then, in my opinion, the Central Americans are more aggressive, and then the Africans. Africans are, I agree, they're on the top of the list.
They're vicious. I mean, they just
but
persistent aggression. They never take a break.
But when I look at the fish in my fish room and the fish that I've kept, the most aggressive ones were the African cichlids, and then the second most are the ones like this guy, and the convicts and firemouths and all the Jack Dempseys weren't aggressive, but they were weird. They were a happy breeding pair. They didn't act normal to me.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Chris. I was laughing because I was just watching that Cinnodonus Nercussus
catfish.
He was just chasing the heck out of that Oscar. I got a kick out of it.
I've been shocked by them. Some of my catfish are really aggressive, man. They'll go after some of my cichlids. I can't believe it.
My Clips chases the tiger Oscar every now and then.
Well, he is that whole back area back there is his. The whole
back.
That is all his. That little corner. So.
All right. Next comment. Next question. This is going to be a controversial one.
Yay! My kind of question.
I don't know how you feel about it. Elgar Val, dude, don't ever swear on here again. Many young kids watch, including my own. You didn't even cover the word with the beat. You can clearly hear the F word. Shame on you. Now, I have this. First of all, this is my channel, my content, my life. I normally don't do a lot of curse words, but there is now something that we check as YouTubers saying this content is not good for kids. I mean, that's something that before a video even goes up, you have to make that decision. Is this for kids? Is it not for kids? And every time I say this is not for kids. So I told this guy to take a running leap and he can unsub. I'm not going to be regularly cursing, but I'm also got to be myself. And sometimes a curse word slips up. Sometimes something happens and you're like, oh, F, or, oh, whatever. And for someone to think that he's going to tell me never to cuss on my channel again.
That's the part that made me laugh.
My Italian mom, the Kono, really? But I don't know. What's your thoughts? I know, Kenny, you try not to cuss, and I respect that. Certainly understand it.
It's funny because me and Kenny are both from the military. So
We curse.
yeah.
But you try not to curse on your video.
Right. On my channel, I try to take it to the next level. Now, I'm going to be truthful, Scott. If it was my channel and just me,
Yeah.
and I didn't have somebody cracking that whip behind me, I probably would be a lot looser with it. But I value Danny's opinion. She's my queen, and she'll check me. So that's what keeps me thinking, okay, I don't need to curse,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, guys, and I'm talking to people out there, we're human. Okay, we're nobody says when you come on YouTube you're perfect in every sense of the word. We will make mistakes, and even YouTube themselves allow us a little leeway. They don't want to hear all the cursing either. But if you're a channel and you're not cursing much and you have a little slip up, they're not going to attack us for it. And just as the guy next to me said, and I too believe in it, every one of my videos says not made for kids. So if we have that tagline and you still want to allow your child to go in there, then you cannot now get upset because we gave you forewarning before you went into this chat.
And second, I know, Chris, you want to say something, but the only thing I want to say is if you're worried about my channel, think about what you hear on the radio. Think about what you see on TV that the kids are hearing and seeing. And you're worried about me saying one bad word in my video? Yeah, get out of here. But
and the heck with that, go play GTA or one of those video games, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get in the chat in a video game while your kid's playing a video game. See how filtered that is.
Yeah.
But on my part of this is, first of all, if your kid is watching my channel and they're under the age of 13, they're violating COPPA laws because YouTube doesn't allow people to become a member of YouTube unless they're 13 years or older. So, and that's to prevent them from being attacked by the federal government because of COPPA laws. And the whole COPPA restriction is the reason why every single one of us click that this is not for children, because it's not. We're not intended this for children. This is to discuss important information with adults.
Yep.
I made my channel for adults. When I first started this channel, my channel was unfit for viewing by children at the very beginning. I smoked almost every single stream. I vape now. I don't smoke. I had a lot of people ask me not to smoke on my stream. I'm like, why does it matter?
Right.
I'm an adult. You're an adult. Why does it matter? So when you put that up on the screen, I was about to just drop an F-bomb because that was like, the heck you say? You have the gall to tell me what I should do in my own home on my own channel? No.
Yeah. But here's the flip side. I do understand some of it. I'm getting ready to flip-flop on you guys.
Yeah.
We do want to get the young into the hobby, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as President Kenny of your club, Chris, as you're in charge of your channel, we do want to get, because the hobby's going to die. I mean, if you go into a club, I don't know about your club, Kenny, but if you go into a club, it's a lot of older people most of the time, and getting young people in there is an issue. So, it's America, and I can do what I want. Constitutional rights. But at the same time, I am thinking about it, saying, if my hope is to get young kids into the hobby, maybe I do need to kind of watch it a little bit. I'm kind of on the edge there with that one.
Well, and to go with that, also being a devil's advocate, another reason why I would pull away from swearing and smoking on my streams or my videos is because the advertisers don't want to advertise on the channel that's doing that.
Yeah,
it doesn't open up as much advertising, so you don't make as much money.
But if you decide to check kids can watch it, then you don't get any monetization at all.
Right.
You don't get no monetization. You can't even have chat in your live stream if it's for children.
Yeah,
but
see, that's a tough. That's why Liz and I made, and you talk Danny, you talk Kenny, you talking about Danny. we made the conscious decision every live stream. We say, hey, this is getting to be rated R. We are going to be drinking some adult beverages, and there might be some things that aren't suitable for kids. We would say that every time we did a live stream, just to let people know what they're getting ready to get into. And some people wouldn't come to our stream. I love Susan SLC.
Yeah.
She specifically told me, hey, some things like that I don't want to be part of. Totally respect it. Totally honor and respect that. Love her to death. I get it. But at the same time, Liz and I have to be true to who we are. And if we're going to do a live stream, we want to be ourselves and kick it with people, in the chat. We want to have a nice adult beverage, and we want to drop a word here or there, an adjective. So, I don't know. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. So,
like I said, it's your channel at the end of the day. I do make a conscious effort to try not to curse, but I'll say it to the guy out there that left that comment. At the end of the day, we're human beings, and humans are not flawless. That's what I'll leave it at.
Yep, totally agree. I think I got one more question as we hit an hour and 7 minutes. Let me see if this is one. Big love. Okay, so this really isn't a question. Big love, Scott. No matter what you decide to do, just know you've impacted and taught me more about fish keeping than I could ever learn on my own. Thank you all for the knowledge and laughs along the way. So, after that one comment, I like to end on that. That makes me feel a little better that I have touched some people, and some people learn just like they learn from you guys. So
that's the main thing about this project, though. Are we making you get the fire back in your gut, Scott? That's the question. Are you starting to feel the fish fire again?
Dude, I am really starting to feel it. I like this because I feel like we're taking questions and we're giving answers, and we don't have to agree with it, but people get to hear 3 different opinions on stuff. Sometimes we're all going to agree, but the fact that you can hear 3 different people talk about it, debate about it, I think is awesome. I'm definitely in. This is something that I'm into because now I'm getting back into, sharing my knowledge and experiences with you guys and with whoever's listening. So, yeah, it's great. I love it.
I really like to be able to answer questions. That's not something that comes up frequently on my streams. I do get it on my videos on occasion, but I haven't been making those as much.
Right.
I've been doing mainly the diary videos, so I don't get a lot of questions, and I love answering questions. I love helping people. So
I get, if I'm lucky, 1 fish question a night. And most of the time, it ain't even a real fish question, man. So that's what I'm loving about this layout we've got, where we could actually wholeheartedly talk some fish,
Yeah. And see, that's what I want to do. I don't see enough of that. I don't mean this against anyone, but sometimes I see live streams and they're not really talking about fish. You're just having a good time. That's what happened with Liz and I. We would just have a good time, enjoying the people, and very little was said about educating fish. I like that we're focused and taking questions and giving out great information. So with that said, go ahead.
But we will say we're not here to not have fun either. We're going to have a ball while we're doing it.
But this one was a little more serious. I guess it's because of all the questions we had to make up from last episode. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to start with you, Chris. Tell us about your channel and what's going on this week. What can we expect from Multi-Tanks Addiction?
Well, this week started off today. Actually, I dropped the Diary of a Fish Keeper video. I'm going to be doing a stream again on Wednesday. I'll probably drop a couple shorts in the middle, like I said last time. And then
dude, your shorts have been doing great. Your shorts are getting a lot of views.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even known about that if it weren't for this guy over here. He's the one that said, "Hey, man, you need to start dropping shorts." And I'm like, "Shorts? What the heck are those?" But once I saw
he didn't say drop your shorts, right? He said drop shorts, right?
He said drop shorts. Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm going to exit the room if he's dropping his shorts. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
I don't want him to get jealous or anything, but anyways, Saturday I'm doing my live stream with Mary Page Flynn, and I believe it's this weekend we are having Mike from Florida Fish Rescue on as a guest.
Nice.
This weekend is also my birthday, so we're going to be out of town.
Ooh, this
So
weekend is your birthday.
Yes,
It's his
the
birthday.
16th is my anniversary, our 5-year anniversary, and the 17th is my birthday. So
Wow.
You guys taking a little weekend adventure?
I don't know. We were planning on going to the beach, but I more than likely will be streaming from my laptop from some hotels. So.
All right, Kenny E., tell us what's going on at Daniquin Aquatics. What can we expect from you this week?
This week, guys, it's as always on Wednesday night. I am the co-host of The Hot Seat with Rob93. That's at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday nights, we follow Lucas R. Brett's LRB Aquatics on Friday night, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. And then on Sunday, today, we will be here 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then on the 20th of the month, we'll be on Alex's show, The History of Living in Your Aquarium. We're looking forward to that. Both Danny and I will be on that show, so it's going to be fun.
So, and the person that you're challenging to get to 1,000 is Aquaballs, is that correct?
Aquaballs. Now, I've gotten a little, why are we doing it so soon, Kenny? I put this guy on overdrive, guys. If you understood the family life that this man deals with every day, and for him to have that warm, positive spirit about him, I feel obligated to get him to it. So if you're hearing this right now, please help us out. Let's get George at Aquaballs to 1K. He's a beautiful human being, and I truly believe he deserves to be there. So,
Kenny, Chris, you guys are the best. I really appreciate you. I'm loving this format. Not as many laughs this time, but lots of great information. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Man, look, Chris was giving us that mean mugging look, man. I'm like, man, it may not mean much to you, Scott, but God, this guy lives 20 minutes from me. I'm like, what is that look?
Yeah. Hit that subscribe button for King Queen Cichlids, Daniquin Aquatics, and Multi-Tank Addictions. You will thoroughly enjoy all three of them.
Yeah.
All right, I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Peace out, bro.
Deuces.